Have you ever felt your anger flare up over something small? A rude comment? A canceled plan? Or even a stranger's glance? What if you could stay calm, unshaken, and in control, no matter what life throws at you? Welcome to ZENLIGHT 8, where we dive into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to transform your mind and emotions. In this video, we're revealing 7 powerful secrets to never getting angry with anyone. Practical, proven strategies you can apply today to live with peace and clarity. Stick around until the end to unlock these life-changing lessons and start mastering your emotions right now. Let's dive in. Have you ever felt a spark of anger ignite inside you because of someone's careless words or thoughtless actions? Maybe it was a coworker who missed a deadline, a friend who forgot to call, or even a stranger who cut you off in traffic on your way to work. In that moment, it's so easy to let judgment take over, to label them as inconsiderate, irresponsible, or just plain wrong. But what if that reflex to judge is the real root of your frustration? What if, by choosing a different path, one of understanding, you could not only extinguish that anger but also unlock a deeper sense of peace and connection in your life? This is the first secret of Stoic philosophy, a timeless principle that has guided emperors, thinkers, and everyday people through the chaos of human interactions. Stop judging, start understanding. At its core, anger often begins with judgment. When we judge someone, we're holding them to a standard we've created in our minds, a set of expectations they may not even know exists. It's like walking into a room and expecting everyone to follow your unwritten rulebook. If they don't, you feel betrayed, slighted, or disrespected. But Stoicism, with its profound yet practical wisdom, challenges us to pause and reconsider this habit. Judgment is a lens that distorts reality, warping the way we see others and their actions. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that only highlight flaws, mistakes, or differences. Understanding, on the other hand, is the act of taking those glasses off, of seeing people with clarity, curiosity, and compassion. It's not about excusing bad behavior or pretending everything is fine. It's about stepping into someone else's shoes, asking why they might have acted the way they did, and recognizing that their actions are often shaped by struggles, fears, or perspectives we may never fully grasp. Imagine you're at a coffee shop in downtown Chicago, waiting for your morning latte. The barista, moving slower than you'd like, seems distracted, maybe even rude. Your first instinct might be to judge. They're lazy, unprofessional. Don't they know I'm in a hurry? But what if you chose to understand instead? Maybe the barista just worked a double shift to cover a coworker's absence. Maybe they're dealing with a sick family member or grappling with a personal loss. Suddenly, that slow service isn't a personal attack. It's a reflection of their reality, not yours. This shift in perspective doesn't just diffuse your irritation. It opens the door to empathy, transforming a moment of tension into an opportunity for connection. You might even smile and offer a kind word, brightening their day and yours. This principle isn't just about fleeting interactions. It's a way of life that can reshape your relationships and your entire outlook. Think about your workplace, where conflicts often arise from snap judgments. A colleague snaps at you during a meeting, and your immediate thought is, "They're so disrespectful." But what if you pause to consider their context? Maybe they're under immense pressure to meet a deadline, or they're struggling with self-doubt about their performance. By choosing to understand, you're not just avoiding a pointless argument. You're building a bridge to better collaboration and mutual respect. This approach aligns with the Stoic teaching of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote in Meditations, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This simple question is a mirror, forcing us to confront our own imperfections before we cast stones at others. It reminds us that we, too, have faltered, acted impulsively, or let stress get the better of us. By recognizing our shared humanity, we cultivate humility and compassion, 2 qualities that are essential for a fulfilling life. But why do we judge so quickly in the first place? In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, judgment often feels like a shortcut. It's easier to label someone as wrong than to take the time to understand their story. In a culture that celebrates quick opinions, think of the rapid-fire comments on social media or the 24/7 news cycle, judgment gives us a fleeting sense of control, a way to assert our rightness. But that feeling is a mirage. It doesn't bring lasting happiness or peace. Instead, it deepens the divide between us and others, leaving us isolated in our own righteousness. Understanding, though it requires more effort, offers a far greater reward. It's like planting a seed that grows into stronger relationships, deeper connections, and a more resilient mindset. Let's ground this in a real-life example. Consider Sarah, a 35-year-old marketing manager in Seattle. Sarah used to get frustrated with her teenage son, Ethan, who would often leave dishes in the sink or forget to do his chores. She'd judge him as lazy or ungrateful, which led to heated arguments that left both of them drained. One day, inspired by a podcast on Stoicism, Sarah decided to try a different approach. Instead of scolding Ethan, she sat him down and asked, "Hey, I've noticed you've been leaving dishes out a lot. Is everything okay?" To her surprise, Ethan opened up about the stress he was feeling at school, juggling exams and college applications. Sarah realized his behavior wasn't about disrespect. It was a sign of overwhelm. By choosing understanding over judgment, she not only resolved the tension, but also strengthened her bond with her son. They started working together to create a chore schedule that fit his busy life, turning a source of conflict into a moment of teamwork. This story illustrates how understanding can transform not just our interactions but our entire approach to life. It's a form of critical thinking, a way to challenge our assumptions and question the narratives we create about others. In a world where polarization is rampant, whether it's political debates or workplace rivalries, this Stoic principle is more relevant than ever. By practicing understanding, we become active listeners, not just to others but to ourselves. We start to notice when our judgments are driven by ego, stress, or unexamined biases. This self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with clarity and grace. So, how can you apply this in your daily life? Start small. The next time you feel irritation rising, maybe when a driver cuts you off on the I-95 or a coworker interrupts you mid-sentence, pause for 3 seconds. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what might be going on for them? This simple act of reflection can stop judgment in its tracks, giving you the space to choose understanding instead. You can also practice journaling at the end of each day, reflecting on moments when you judged someone. Write down what triggered your judgment and what you could have done differently to understand their perspective. Over time, this habit will rewire your mind, making understanding your default response. Another practical step is to engage in active listening. In your next conversation, focus entirely on what the other person is saying, without planning your response or jumping to conclusions. Ask open-ended questions like, "Can you tell me more about why you feel that way?" This not only builds empathy but also deepens your connections, whether with a friend, partner, or colleague. In a society that often values being right over being kind, choosing to listen and understand is a radical act of courage. The beauty of this Stoic principle is that it doesn't just help you avoid anger, it liberates you from the mental prison of judgment. When you stop judging, you start seeing the world as it is, not as your biases dictate. You begin to notice the small acts of kindness around you. The stranger who holds the door open, the coworker who stays late to help a teammate. You realize that everyone is fighting their own battles, and what they need isn't criticism but compassion. This shift doesn't just bring peace to your mind. It ripples outward, creating a more harmonious world. As you embark on this journey to replace judgment with understanding, you'll discover that true strength lies not in being right but in being open. You'll find that the moments you once saw as slights or offenses are opportunities to grow, to connect, and to live with greater purpose. This is the first step toward a life free from anger, a life where peace is not just a fleeting moment but a constant companion. As we continue to explore the secrets of Stoicism, the next lesson will build on this foundation, guiding you to embrace the world as it is, imperfections and all, and find tranquility in the midst of life's chaos. What if the key to lasting peace isn't found in reshaping the world to fit your desires, but in embracing it exactly as it is, flaws, chaos, and all? In our fast-paced lives, we often find ourselves frustrated when things don't go as planned. A delayed flight, a rude coworker, or even a sudden rainstorm ruining your weekend hike. These moments spark anger, not because the world is inherently cruel, but because we cling to the illusion that it should bend to our will. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, offers a profound antidote. Accept the world as it is, and release the need to control what lies beyond your grasp. These two principles, accepting reality and letting go of control, are not just strategies to avoid anger. They are transformative practices that empower you to live with clarity, resilience, and inner freedom in today's unpredictable world. Let's begin with the art of accepting the world as it is. Picture yourself stuck in a traffic jam on a busy Los Angeles freeway, late for an important meeting. Your heart races, your palms grip the steering wheel, and a wave of frustration washes over you. Why? It's not the traffic itself that's causing your anger. It's your expectation that the road should be clear, that life should align with your schedule. Stoicism teaches us that this resistance to reality is the root of our suffering. As Epictetus wisely said, "It is not events that disturb people. It is their judgments concerning them." The world doesn't owe us smooth roads, perfect weather, or polite strangers. It simply exists with all its imperfections, and true peace comes when we stop fighting this truth. Accepting the world as it is doesn't mean resigning yourself to a passive existence or ignoring injustice. Instead, it's about aligning your mind with reality, freeing yourself from the burden of unrealistic expectations. In modern American life, we're bombarded with messages that fuel these expectations. Social media showcases curated lives, advertisements promise instant solutions, and our culture glorifies control over every detail. Yet, the more we demand perfection from ourselves, others, or the world, the more we set ourselves up for disappointment. Consider a common scenario. You're planning a family barbecue in your backyard, expecting sunny skies and a flawless day. But a sudden downpour forces everyone inside, and your mood sours. The rain didn't ruin your day, your expectation of a picture-perfect event did. By accepting that weather is unpredictable, you might have laughed, moved the party indoors, and created memories that were just as meaningful, if not more so. This Stoic principle is deeply rooted in critical thinking. It asks us to question the stories we tell ourselves about how life should be. Why do we assume everything must go our way? Is it because we've been conditioned to believe we can control outcomes with enough effort? In a society that celebrates hustle culture, where success is measured by achievements and productivity, it's easy to fall into the trap of expecting the world to reward our hard work with perfect results. But life is more like a 500-mile road trip than a straight highway. There will be detours, flat tires, and unexpected storms. Accepting this reality doesn't make you weak. It makes you adaptable, allowing you to focus your energy on what you can control: your attitude, your actions, and your response to the journey. Let's bring this to life with a story. Meet James, a 42-year-old software engineer in Austin, Texas. James used to get furious when his projects at work didn't go as planned. Missed deadlines, buggy code, or clients changing requirements at the last minute. He'd spend hours stewing, blaming his team or the company's processes. One day, after a particularly stressful sprint, he stumbled across a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Intrigued, James began reflecting on his anger. He realized he was fighting reality, expecting his work to unfold flawlessly in an inherently unpredictable industry. Inspired by Stoicism, he started practicing acceptance. When a client rejected a feature, instead of fuming, he asked, "How can I use this feedback to improve?" When a bug stalled a release, he saw it as a chance to learn. Over time, James noticed his stress levels drop, his relationships with colleagues improve, and his work became more fulfilling. By accepting the imperfections of his job, he found not just peace but also purpose. This shift in perspective is especially relevant in today's world, where uncertainty is a constant. From economic fluctuations to global challenges, we're reminded daily that much of life is beyond our control. Accepting this can feel daunting, but it's also liberating. It's like standing at the edge of a vast ocean, watching waves crash unpredictably. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to swim with them. In practical terms, Start by identifying moments when you resist reality. Maybe it's when your kids leave dishes in the sink, or when a friend cancels plans. Pause and remind yourself, this is how things are right now, and that's okay. Then, shift your focus to what you can do. Wash the dishes with mindfulness, or use the free time to read a book. These small acts of acceptance build a habit that transforms how you navigate life's bigger challenges. Acceptance also fosters self-compassion. In a culture that often demands perfection, we judge ourselves harshly for mistakes or setbacks. But just as the world is imperfect, so are we. Embracing this allows you to forgive yourself for not having all the answers, for stumbling on your path. Imagine you're training for a 5K race, aiming to beat your personal record of 25 minutes. On race day, you finish in 28 minutes, and disappointment creeps in. Instead of beating yourself up, accept that your body did its best under the circumstances. Maybe it was hotter than expected, or you didn't sleep well. This acceptance frees you to celebrate your effort and plan for the next race, rather than dwelling on what went wrong. By extending the same grace to yourself that you offer the world, you cultivate a resilience that no external chaos can shake. Now, let's explore the natural companion to acceptance, releasing the need for control. At its heart, anger is often a desperate attempt to impose order on a world that refuses to comply. When someone cuts you off in traffic or a coworker overlooks your input, you feel a surge of frustration because you want things to go your way. But Stoicism reminds us that this need for control is a self-imposed chain. As Epictetus put it, some things are up to us and some things are not up to us. The sooner we distinguish between the two, the sooner we find freedom. What's within our control? Our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. What's not? Other people's behavior, the weather, the economy, or even the outcome of our efforts. Clinging to the uncontrollable doesn't just fuel anger. It exhausts us, leaving us trapped in a cycle of futile resistance. Think of control as holding a kite string in a stormy wind. The harder you grip, the more your hands burn, and the kite still slips away. The wind won't stop because you demand it. Only by letting go do you free yourself from pain and allow the kite to soar as it will. Life works the same way. Trying to control a colleague's attitude, a partner's mood, or even how others perceive you is like fighting the wind. It's not just pointless, it's painful. True strength lies in releasing what you can't hold and focusing on what you can, your response. This isn't surrender, it's strategy. It's the difference between a captain who battles a storm head-on, risking shipwreck, and one who adjusts the sails, navigating safely through the chaos. Consider Emily, a 29-year-old teacher in Denver. Emily used to feel overwhelmed by her students' behavior. Some were disruptive, others disengaged, and she took it personally, believing she should be able to fix them. Her frustration spilled into her personal life, leaving her drained. After reading about Stoicism, she decided to experiment with letting go. She focused on what she could control: her lesson plans, her patience, and her encouragement. She stopped trying to force every student to behave perfectly and instead created a classroom where effort was celebrated, even if results varied. To her surprise, her students responded positively, and her stress melted away. By releasing the need to control outcomes, Emily found joy in teaching again and brought a calmer, more confident energy to her life. This principle is a powerful tool in today's control-obsessed culture. From micromanaging work projects to curating perfect social media personas, we're taught that control equals success. But the more we try to orchestrate every detail, the more we invite stress and disappointment. Releasing control doesn't truncate it due to character limit. Mean abandoning responsibility. It means trusting the process and focusing on your role within it. In practice, try this. The next time you feel the urge to control a situation, say a heated family argument, step back, take a deep breath and ask, what can I control right now? Maybe it's speaking calmly or listening without interrupting. By redirecting your energy, you defuse tension and model a wiser way to engage. This approach also builds emotional agility. In a world where change is constant, think of job layoffs, health challenges, or shifting relationships. Letting go of control equips you to adapt. It's like training for a marathon. You can't control the weather on race day, but you can prepare your body and mind to run through rain or heat. Similarly, you can't control life's twists, but you can cultivate a mindset that thrives in uncertainty. Journaling can help here. At the end of each week, write about a situation where you felt out of control. Reflect on what you tried to hold on to and how letting go might have changed the outcome. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to embrace flexibility over rigidity. Releasing control also deepens your connections. When you stop trying to shape others' actions or opinions, you create space for authentic relationships. Imagine you're planning a group outing to a national park, hoping everyone will stick to your itinerary. If a friend wants to linger at a scenic overlook, control might push you to argue. But letting go allows you to enjoy their spontaneity, enriching the experience for everyone. This openness fosters trust and mutual respect, qualities that are rare in a world often driven by agendas. The interplay of acceptance and letting go is a dance of liberation. Accepting the world as it is frees you from the weight of impossible expectations, while releasing control empowers you to move through life with grace. Together, they form a mindset that's both grounded and expansive, rooted in reality yet open to possibility. In a society that equates strength with dominance, Stoicism redefines it as the courage to align with truth and let go of illusions. This isn't just about avoiding anger. It's about living with purpose, unshaken by the storms around you. Picture yourself a year from now, having practiced these principles daily. You're calmer, more present, and less rattled by life's unpredictability. A rude comment doesn't ruin your day. A setback doesn't derail your goals. You've become a beacon of peace not because the world has changed, but because you have. This transformation starts with small, intentional steps. Accepting the traffic jam, letting go of a coworker's oversight, and choosing to see challenges as part of life's beauty. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Every moment is a chance to choose peace over struggle, wisdom over reaction. As we deepen our journey through Stoicism, the next lessons will show us how to ride life's waves with serenity and take ownership of our emotions, ensuring that no external force can steal our inner calm. These principles will build on the foundation of acceptance and release, guiding you toward a life where anger no longer holds sway and peace becomes your truest strength. Have you ever felt like you're swimming against a relentless current, exhausted by the effort to make life bend to your will? We've all been there. Frustrated when plans unravel, irritated by someone's thoughtless remark, or overwhelmed when the world seems to conspire against us. In those moments, anger creeps in, whispering that if only things were different, we'd find peace. But what if the secret to tranquility lies not in fighting life's unpredictability, but in embracing it? Stoic philosophy offers two profound principles to guide us. Go with the flow of life and take ownership of your emotions. These aren't just strategies to sidestep anger. They're transformative practices that empower you to navigate the chaos of modern life with grace, resilience, and unshakable calm. Let's start with the art of flowing with life. Picture life as a vast, ever-moving river, its currents weaving through moments of joy, challenge, and everything in between. Too often, we stand in that river, digging our heels into the muddy bottom, trying to halt its flow. We resist when a project at work falls apart, when a friend lets us down, or when a sudden change, like a canceled flight, disrupts our carefully laid plans. This resistance doesn't stop the river. It only leaves us battered, frustrated, and drained. Stoicism teaches us that life doesn't pause for our preferences, and fighting its natural rhythm is a recipe for suffering. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Instead of battling the current, we can learn to move with it, adjusting our mindset to dance with life's unpredictability. This principle is especially vital in today's fast-paced, interconnected world. In a culture that glorifies control, think of the endless apps promising to optimize your schedule or the pressure to curate a flawless social media presence. We're conditioned to believe we can dictate every outcome. But life is no chessboard where every move is ours to plan. It's more like a 300-mile road trip across the Rockies. You can map the route, but you can't predict a sudden snowstorm or a flat tire. Flowing with life doesn't mean giving up your goals. It means holding them lightly, ready to adapt when the road twists. It's the difference between a hiker who curses a rain shower and one who pulls on a poncho, marveling at the mist rising from the forest. Consider a practical example. You're at a busy grocery store in Atlanta, standing in a checkout line that's moving at a snail's pace. The person ahead is fumbling with coupons, seemingly oblivious to the growing queue. Your first instinct might be to huff, tap your foot, and let irritation take over. But what if you chose to flow with the moment? Take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is just how things are right now. Instead of stewing, you might notice the toddler in the cart ahead, giggling at a toy, or strike up a conversation with the person behind you. Suddenly, a delay becomes an opportunity to practice patience, to connect, or simply to be present. This shift doesn't change the line's speed, but it transforms your experience, replacing anger with calm. This Stoic wisdom resonates deeply in a society grappling with uncertainty. From economic shifts to personal setbacks, we're constantly reminded that life is unpredictable. Flowing with its rhythm requires critical thinking, a willingness to question our knee-jerk reactions. Why do we resist when things go awry? Is it because we've bought into the myth that control equals happiness? In reality, resistance often amplifies our pain. Think of a time you argued with a loved one over something trivial, like who forgot to take out the trash. The argument wasn't about the trash, it was about your need for things to go your way. By flowing with life, you might have laughed it off, taken out the trash together, and saved your energy for what truly matters. Let's ground this in a real story. Meet Rachel, a 34-year-old graphic designer in Portland, Oregon. Rachel used to stress over every detail of her freelance projects, from client feedback to tight deadlines. When a client rejected her design after weeks of work, she'd spiral into frustration, blaming them for not appreciating her vision. One evening, exhausted by her own anger, she read a passage from Marcus Aurelius. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Inspired, Rachel decided to experiment. The next time a client sent back a design with heavy revisions, she didn't fight it. Instead, she saw the feedback as a chance to refine her skills, asking questions to understand the client's needs. To her surprise, the revised design was stronger, and the client became a repeat customer. By flowing with the challenge, Rachel not only improved her work, but also found a sense of ease she'd never known. Applying this in daily life is simpler than it seems. Start by noticing when you're resisting life's flow. Maybe when a coworker's comment stings, or when a delayed package throws off your plans. Pause and ask, will this matter in a week, a month, or a year? If the answer is no, let it go. You can also practice mindfulness to stay anchored in the present. Try a 5-minute exercise. Sit quietly, focus on your breath, and let thoughts about past frustrations or future worries pass like leaves on a stream. This builds the mental flexibility to adapt rather than resist. Over time, you'll find that life's small waves, those moments that once sparked anger, become opportunities to practice serenity. Flowing with life also fosters resilience. In a world where change is constant, the ability to adapt is a superpower. Think of entrepreneurs navigating a volatile market or parents juggling remote work and homeschooling. Those who thrive don't cling to rigid plans. They pivot, finding new paths through the chaos. This adaptability is a gift you can cultivate, turning obstacles into stepping stones. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, what stands in the way becomes the way. A delayed flight might lead to a meaningful conversation with a stranger. A rejected job application might push you toward a better opportunity. By embracing life's flow, you open yourself to possibilities you'd never have imagined. Now, let's turn to the equally powerful principle of owning your emotions. Have you ever felt a surge of anger and thought, they made me so mad? It's a natural reaction, but Stoicism challenges this assumption. No one can make you angry unless you allow it. Anger isn't an inevitable response. It's a choice, shaped by how you interpret and react to the world. As Epictetus put it, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. This truth is both humbling and liberating. Your emotions are yours to command, and with that power comes the freedom to choose peace over turmoil. In modern American life, we're often quick to blame others for our feelings. A rude email from a boss, a snarky comment on social media, or a friend's oversight can feel like a personal attack. But Stoicism invites us to pause and reflect. Imagine you're walking through a bustling New York City street and someone bumps into you, spilling your coffee. Your instinct might be to snap, assuming they were careless. But what if they didn't see you, distracted by their own worries? More importantly, does their action inherently harm you, or is it your interpretation, your choice to take it personally, that fuels your anger? If the same incident happened in a language you didn't understand, would you care as much? This thought experiment reveals a profound truth. Anger stems from your mind's response, not the event itself. Owning your emotions means taking responsibility for how you feel, even when the world feels unfair. It's not about suppressing anger or pretending everything is fine. It's about recognizing that you have the power to shape your inner world. In a culture that often glorifies emotional reactivity, think of viral rants online or heated reality TV arguments. This Stoic principle is countercultural. It asks you to slow down, to be the calm in the storm. Consider a workplace scenario. Your manager criticizes your presentation in front of the team, and you feel a flush of embarrassment and anger. Instead of firing back or stewing, pause. Ask yourself, why am I upset? Am I assuming their critique defines my worth? By reframing the situation, seeing the feedback as a chance to grow, you reclaim control, choosing growth over resentment. Let's explore this through a real-life example. Meet David, a 45-year-old nurse in Chicago. David worked long shifts in a hectic hospital, where patients sometimes lashed out in frustration. He used to take their words personally, feeling angry and unappreciated. One day, after a particularly tough shift, he came across a Stoic quote, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Intrigued, David started practicing emotional ownership. When a patient snapped at him, he took a moment to breathe and remind himself, their anger reflects their pain, not my value. He began responding with compassion, offering a kind word or a listening ear. Not only did his stress decrease, but his patience often softened, sensing his calm. By owning his emotions, David transformed his work environment and found a deeper sense of purpose. This principle is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence, a skill increasingly valued in today's world. In workplaces, relationships, and even online interactions, the ability to manage your emotions sets you apart. It's like being the captain of a ship. Storms will come, but you decide how to steer. Practically, you can start by using a technique called cognitive reframing. When anger arises, identify the thought behind it. Maybe, they disrespected me. Then, reframe it. They're acting from their own stress, not my worth. This shifts your perspective, cooling the emotional heat. You can also practice a pause and reflect habit. When triggered, count to 5 before responding. This small act creates space to choose compassion over reaction. Another powerful tool is journaling. At the end of each day, write about a moment when you felt angry. Note what triggered you, how you reacted, and how you could have responded differently. Over weeks, you'll spot patterns. Maybe you're quick to assume malice or sensitive to criticism. This self-awareness empowers you to rewrite your emotional script. In a society where emotional outbursts are often normalized, choosing to own your emotions is a radical act of strength. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being intentional, ensuring your feelings serve your goals rather than derail them. Owning your emotions also deepens your connections. When you stop blaming others for how you feel, you approach relationships with curiosity and grace. Imagine a friend cancels dinner plans last minute. Instead of thinking, they don't care about me, you might consider, they're probably swamped. Let me check in. This compassion not only preserves the friendship, but also frees you from unnecessary pain. In a world where misunderstandings fuel division, this Stoic practice builds bridges, fostering empathy and trust. Together, flowing with life and owning your emotions create a powerful synergy. Flowing with life frees you from the need to control external events, while owning your emotions ensures that internal storms don't capsize your peace. In a culture that often equates strength with dominance, Stoicism redefines it as the ability to move with grace and govern your inner world. Picture yourself a year from now having embraced these principles. You're no longer rattled by life's surprises or others' actions. You navigate challenges with a quiet confidence, knowing that your peace is yours to protect. This transformation begins with small choices, letting go of a minor annoyance, reframing a hurtful comment, or simply breathing through a moment of tension. As we continue our Stoic journey, the next lessons will explore the art of non-reaction and the freedom of forgiveness, showing you how to rise above conflict and release the burdens of resentment. These principles will deepen your mastery over anger, guiding you toward a life where tranquility is not just a dream but a daily reality. In a world that often feels like a whirlwind of noise, haste, and provocation, have you ever wondered what it takes to stand unshaken, to remain a pillar of calm amidst the storm? We live in an age where a single harsh word, a critical email, or a fleeting social media comment can ignite a spark of anger, pulling us into a cycle of reaction and regret. Yet, Stoic philosophy offers a timeless antidote: the art of staying calm by refusing to react impulsively and the profound freedom that comes from forgiving and giving generously. These two principles, mastering non-reaction and embracing forgiveness, are not just tools to avoid anger. They are pathways to a life of inner strength, emotional liberation, and deep fulfillment. By weaving these practices into your daily life, you can rise above conflict, release the burdens of resentment, and live with a lightness that transforms both your heart and the world around you. Let's begin with the art of staying calm and choosing not to react hastily. Imagine you're in a crowded coffee shop in Seattle, juggling a laptop and a latte, when a stranger bumps into you, spilling your drink. Your instinct might be to snap, to let irritation spill out in a sharp comment. But what if you paused, took a deep breath, and simply observed the moment? This is the essence of non-reaction, a silent strength that Stoicism celebrates as a hallmark of true power. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The choice to stay calm isn't avoidance. It's a deliberate act of self-mastery, a refusal to let external chaos dictate your inner peace. In today's fast-paced American culture, where instant reactions are the norm, think of heated debates on Twitter or quick retorts in workplace meetings. Non-reaction is a radical act. Every time you respond impulsively to a provocation, you hand over control of your emotions to someone or something else. A colleague's snide remark, a driver cutting you off on the I-95, or a friend's oversight can feel like a personal attack, but only if you let it. Stoicism teaches that those who control their reactions control their lives. Think of a seasoned boxer in the ring, facing an opponent's feints and jabs. If they swing wildly at every move, they exhaust themselves. But if they stay composed, observing and striking only when the moment is right, they win through wisdom, not frenzy. Life is no different. By choosing not to react, you conserve your energy for what truly matters, shielding your soul from the noise of the world. This principle is rooted in critical thinking, urging us to question our automatic responses. Why do we feel compelled to react immediately? Is it the pressure to defend our ego, to prove we're right? In a society that often equates strength with loudness, think of reality TV shouting matches or viral rants. Staying calm can feel counterintuitive, even weak, but it's the opposite. Non-reaction is a profound wisdom, a quiet power that sets you apart. Consider a real-life example. Sarah, a 38-year-old HR manager in Chicago, used to dread team meetings. Her coworker, Tom, often interrupted her, dismissing her ideas with a smirk. Sarah would fire back, escalating tension and derailing the discussion. Frustrated, she stumbled across a Stoic idea. You don't need to defend yourself against accusations, but reply, "You obviously don't know me well." Inspired, Sarah tried a new approach. The next time Tom interrupted, she paused, smiled, and said, "I appreciate your input, Tom. Let me finish my thought." Her calm response not only diffused the tension but also earned her respect from the team. By refusing to react, Sarah reclaimed her power, turning a conflict into a moment of leadership. Applying non-reaction in daily life is both simple and transformative. Start with a 5-second rule. When you feel provoked, whether by a rude email or a family member's jab, count to 5 before responding. This brief pause creates space to assess the situation. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 minutes, 5 days, or 5 years? Most triggers, like a stranger's scowl or a delayed package, fade into insignificance when viewed through this lens. You can also practice deep breathing to anchor yourself. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. This technique, rooted in physiological science, slows your heart rate and calms your nervous system, giving you clarity to choose wisdom over impulse. Over time, these habits build a mental shield, protecting your peace from external storms. Non-reaction also enhances your relationships. In a world where misunderstandings fuel division, choosing calm over conflict fosters trust. Imagine you're at a family dinner in Dallas, and your uncle makes a political comment that grates on you. Instead of arguing, you nod, take a sip of water, and shift the conversation to a neutral topic like the Cowboys' latest game. This doesn't mean you agree. It means you value harmony over a fleeting win. Your restraint preserves the connection, creating space for deeper conversations later. In workplaces, too, non-reaction can transform dynamics. By staying composed when a colleague challenges you, you model professionalism, often inspiring others to follow suit. This Stoic practice isn't just about avoiding anger. It's about becoming a beacon of stability in a chaotic world. Now, let's explore the liberating power of forgiveness and generosity. Holding on to resentment is like clutching a burning coal, hoping to throw it at someone else. The longer you hold it, the more it scorches your hand, consuming your peace and clouding your mind. Stoicism teaches that forgiveness isn't a gift for the offender. It's a gift to yourself, a release from the invisible chains of anger. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. I can neither be harmed by any of them nor become angry with them. This perspective reframes forgiveness as an act of strength, a choice to free your heart from the past so you can live fully in the present. In modern American life, forgiveness can feel countercultural. We're often taught to hold grudges, to demand justice before letting go. Social media amplifies this, with public shaming and cancel culture framing forgiveness as weakness. But Stoicism flips this narrative. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing harm or forgetting pain. It means refusing to let that pain control you. It's a conscious choice to reclaim your power, to say, you may have hurt me, but you don't get to define my peace. This act of liberation is especially vital in a society where stress and division run high. From workplace rivalries to family estrangements, resentment builds walls that forgiveness can tear down. Consider the story of Michael, a 50-year-old carpenter in Nashville. Michael harbored bitterness toward his brother, who borrowed $5,000 years ago and never repaid it. The grudge festered, straining their relationship and weighing on Michael's heart. One day, inspired by a sermon on forgiveness, Michael reflected on a Stoic idea. Resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemies. He realized his anger was hurting him more than his brother. So he called his brother, not to demand the money, but to say, I'm letting this go. Let's move forward. The conversation wasn't easy, but it lifted a burden Michael hadn't realized he was carrying. Their relationship began to heal, and Michael felt a lightness he hadn't known in years. Forgiveness didn't erase the past. It freed him to live more fully in the present. Forgiveness is deeply tied to generosity, another Stoic virtue. When you give without expecting return, whether it's kindness, time, or compassion, you break the cycle of disappointment that fuels anger. As Seneca said, we should give as we would receive, cheerfully, quickly, and without hesitation. In a consumer-driven culture, where giving often comes with strings attached, this principle is revolutionary. Generosity doesn't just enrich others. It enriches you, filling your soul with a quiet joy. Think of a time you helped a stranger. Maybe holding the door for someone juggling groceries or tipping a server generously after a long day. That act, however small, likely left you feeling lighter, more connected to the world. Let's see this in action. Maria, a 27-year-old teacher in Miami, struggled with resentment toward a colleague who took credit for her ideas. The anger consumed her, affecting her work and mood. Inspired by Stoic teachings, Maria decided to try forgiveness and generosity. She didn't confront her colleague, but chose to let go of the grudge, reminding herself, "Her actions don't define my worth." She also started small acts of kindness, sharing resources with her team, offering to help with projects. To her surprise, her colleague began to soften, and their collaboration improved. More importantly, Maria felt a newfound peace, her heart unburdened by resentment. Her generosity didn't change her colleague. It changed her, opening her to a more joyful way of living. Applying forgiveness and generosity in daily life is both practical and profound. Start with a forgiveness journal. Each week, write about someone or something you're holding on to. Maybe a friend's betrayal or a personal mistake. Reflect on how letting go could free you, and visualize releasing that burden, like dropping a heavy stone into a river. You can also practice pre-forgiveness, a Stoic technique. Each morning, mentally prepare for others' imperfections, saying, "People may disappoint me today, but I choose peace." This mindset inoculates you against anger, making forgiveness easier. For generosity, try one small act daily. Compliment a coworker, donate $5 to a local charity, or listen fully to a friend's troubles. These acts build a habit of giving that lightens your heart and deepens your connections. In today's polarized world, forgiveness and generosity are acts of courage. They challenge the narrative that strength lies in holding grudges or winning arguments. Instead, they redefine strength as the ability to release pain and give freely, creating ripples of kindness in a divided society. Imagine a workplace where colleagues forgive oversights, or a family where grudges are replaced with understanding. These Stoic practices don't just transform you, they transform the world around you one choice at a time. Together, staying calm and embracing forgiveness form a powerful duo. Non-reaction shields your peace from external provocations, while forgiveness and generosity free you from internal burdens. In a culture that often glorifies reaction and retribution, Stoicism offers a higher path, one of wisdom, compassion, and freedom. Picture yourself a year from now, having woven these principles into your life. You're unshaken by petty slights, quick to forgive, and generous in spirit. A rude comment no longer derails your day. A past hurt no longer defines you. You've become a source of calm and kindness, not because the world has changed, but because you have. This journey through Stoicism, understanding over judgment, accepting the world, releasing control, flowing with life, owning emotions, staying calm, and forgiving generously, is more than a set of tools. It's a compass for a life of serenity, where anger no longer holds sway. Each principle builds on the last, creating a tapestry of resilience and peace. In a society that often pulls us toward chaos, these lessons remind us that true power lies within, in our ability to choose how we respond, to let go of what weighs us down, and to live with an open heart. As you move forward, carry these truths with you. Let them guide you through life's storms, lighting the way to a life not just free from anger, but rich with purpose, connection, and joy. As we reach the end of this transformative journey through the 7 Stoic secrets to never getting angry, let's pause and reflect on the profound wisdom we've uncovered. From replacing judgment with understanding to accepting the world's imperfections, from releasing the need for control to flowing with life's unpredictable currents, from owning our emotions to mastering the art of non-reaction, and finally, to finding freedom through forgiveness and generosity. These principles are not mere ideas. They are a roadmap to a life of serenity, resilience, and deep fulfillment. Stoicism, born in the bustling streets of ancient Rome, speaks directly to our modern lives, where chaos, stress, and division often threaten to steal our peace. At its core, this philosophy reminds us of a timeless truth. While we cannot control the world around us, we have absolute power over our thoughts, our reactions, and the way we choose to live. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast forest in Oregon, the wind rustling through towering pines, the world alive with both beauty and unpredictability. Life is like that forest, wild, untamed, and full of surprises. Yet, with these Stoic principles, you hold a compass to navigate its paths. Each time you choose understanding over judgment, you build bridges to others. Each time you accept reality's imperfections, you free yourself from futile struggles. Each time you let go of control, flow with life, or own your emotions, you reclaim your inner strength. And each time you stay calm or forgive generously, you lighten your heart, creating space for joy and connection. These choices, small yet profound, weave together to form a life not just free from anger, but rich with purpose and peace. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, these lessons are more vital than ever. We're bombarded with triggers, endless notifications, polarizing headlines, or the pressure to keep up with a 24/7 hustle culture. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to let a rude comment on social media or a missed deadline at work spark frustration. But Stoicism offers a different path. It's a call to rise above the noise, to anchor yourself in what you can control: your mindset, your compassion, your integrity. Picture yourself a year from now, having practiced these principles daily. You're no longer rattled by a coworker's oversight or a stranger's slight. You navigate challenges with a quiet confidence, forgiving easily and giving freely. You've become a beacon of calm in a stormy world, not because life has become easier, but because you've grown stronger. So, how can you bring these Stoic secrets into your life today? Start small, but start now. Each morning, set an intention to practice one principle, perhaps pausing to understand before judging or taking 5 seconds to breathe before reacting. Keep a journal to track your progress, noting moments when you chose peace over anger. For example, if you're stuck in a 10-mile traffic jam on a freeway in Los Angeles, use it as a chance to flow with life, maybe listening to a podcast or reflecting on something you're grateful for. When someone hurts you, practice forgiveness by writing a letter to yourself, releasing the pain without sending it. And every day, commit to one act of generosity. Whether it's tipping your barista an extra $1, complimenting a colleague, or simply listening fully to a friend. These actions, repeated over time, rewire your mind, turning Stoic wisdom into a living practice. In a world that often feels divided, these principles can also transform your relationships and communities. Imagine a workplace in Boston where colleagues forgive oversights and stay calm under pressure, or a family in Texas where grudges are replaced with understanding. By embodying these Stoic virtues, you don't just change yourself, you inspire others. In an era where mental health challenges are on the rise, with studies showing that nearly 1 in 5 Americans experience anxiety yearly, Stoicism's focus on emotional mastery is a lifeline. It's a reminder that peace isn't found in perfect circumstances, but in the choices we make every day. Whether you're navigating a demanding job, raising a family, or simply trying to stay grounded in a chaotic world, these tools empower you to live with clarity and grace. Now it's time to take action. If this journey through Stoicism has resonated with you, we invite you to join the ZENLIGHT 8 community on YouTube, where we explore timeless wisdom to live better, wiser, and happier. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos, packed with practical insights to transform your life. Share this video with a friend, family member, or colleague who could benefit from these secrets. Your simple act of sharing could spark a change in someone's life. And here's a challenge. In the comments below, type the number 7 to show your commitment to applying these 7 Stoic principles. Share which principle spoke to you most and why. Maybe it's the freedom of forgiveness or the calm of non-reaction. Your comment isn't just a gesture. It's a promise to yourself, a step toward a life where anger no longer holds sway. As you move forward, carry these Stoic truths with you like a lantern in the dark. Let them guide you through life's twists and turns, from the bustling streets of New York to the quiet trails of a Colorado park. Remember that peace is not a destination. It's a practice, built through daily choices to understand, accept, let go, flow, own, stay calm, and forgive. With every step, you're not just avoiding anger. you're crafting a life of meaning, connection, and unshakable tranquility. Thank you for joining us on this journey with ZENLIGHT 8. We can't wait to see you in the next video, where we'll dive deeper into the wisdom that lights the way to a better you.